Every year around this time, Africa, particularly Nigeria, is buzzing with questions around one particular event, the Grammys. Who's been nominated? Who's going to win the coveted gold trophy? Is the Academy finally recognizing African talents? Every year without fail. We convince ourselves that a Grammy is the final stamp of approval, the sign that Afrobeats has arrived. But while we continue to chase validation all the way in Los Angeles, USA, we're forgetting to do something very important back home. We're actually forgetting to build an industry. We're selling our farm and everything in it for a seat at the table. And now, as the hype cools down, we are beginning to wake up to a brutal reality. A Grammy is a trophy, a personal one at best. A Grammy is not an economy. Winning Best African Performance doesn't fix the fact that we can't tour our own country or even our own continent. It doesn't fix the fact that we don't even own our own masters. So today, I'm here to tell you why the Grammys won't save Afrobeats and why it might actually be killing it. First, let's look at the award itself. When the Recording Academy announces its nomination, we're excited, we're happy, we cheer. We call it inclusion. But really, is it inclusion? If we're being honest with ourselves, is it inclusion or is it containment? By giving us our own little corner to play in, they effectively remove us from the big four categories. We don't compete for Song of the Year anymore. We're now left with Best African Song. Compare this to the Latin explosion. Bad Bunny doesn't just get to play in the Latin League anymore. He sits with the big guys. He contests for Song of the Year, Albums of the Year, alongside big names like Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce, Drake. That looks more like inclusion to me than what our African stars get. So again, I ask, is the Grammy really including us? I ask this because the Latin industry built its own academy, the Latin Grammys. They built their own leverage. In Africa, we've skipped that step. We go straight to their house begging for a room, and we celebrate when they give us the guest house in the back. But the bigger problem isn't the trophy. It goes beyond the award. It's the business model behind it. How do you win a Grammy? Well, it takes a lot of spending. You need distribution. You need lobbying. You need millions of dollars in marketing spend in the US. And who has that money? Not our local labels. This is why we see the Mavin Records deal, our biggest independent label, selling a majority stake to Universal Music Group just to scale. We applaud it as a global partnership, but really think about what it means. We have the talents, but we don't have the money to scale. They bring the money, they own majority stake. We bring the music, the products, they sell to the world and effectively sell back to us as Nigerians to buy, mostly at very, very high prices that we almost can't afford. Afrobeat becomes like crude oil in Nigeria all over again. And if you're not familiar with this reference, I'll explain to you. You see, Nigeria is an oil producing country, but until recently, we have always imported the oil that we use locally. So oil giants come to Nigeria, mine crude oil from the ground, ship them abroad, refine them, and sell the petroleum products back to us to buy. Yes, that's how Nigerians have lived for decades. Until I think about 2 years ago when Aliko Dangote opened up a refinery in the country and we started refining some of our own locally used oil right here in Nigeria. So that's the reference if you're not very familiar. So like oil, like Afrobeats, extracted locally here in Nigeria, exported to the West, and then sold back to us locally at a premium price. That's the life cycle of an Afrobeat banger. The Grammy isn't a symbol of power, it's a symbol of their ownership. And this brings me to the biggest failure of all, soft power, particularly our inability to use Afrobeats as soft power. To understand how badly we fumble this, look at how the pros do it. For instance, look at the Korean playbook. When BTS or Blackpink go on a world tour, they aren't just performing, they are the tip of a spear. Behind them is the Korean Tourism Organization. At K-pop concerts in London, in New York, in Los Angeles, you often see the Korean governments promoting tourism in Korea to concert goers. They sell Hallyu visa packages, a special visa designed specifically for fans who want to go to Korea to train in dance. They have travel agencies selling concerts and tour bundles. You buy a ticket to the show, and it includes a 3-day guided tour of Incheon, a city in South Korea. They turn the fan into a tourist at the point of consumption. The concert is the commercial. Tourism in Korea is the actual product. Now, contrast this to Wizkid selling out the O2 Arena in London. 20,000 fans, 2 nights in a row, waiting to experience one of Afrobeat's biggest exports. But we don't see the Lagos State Tourism Board. I mean, think of it. It is the perfect marketing moment. The customer is right there, wallet open, begging for culture. But where are the booths selling the Dirty December packages? Where are the offerings to people who would love to come and experience Lagos? Where is the promise of seamless visa on arrival for fans of Afrobeats who are not Nigerians? I mean, you might see 1 or 2 Nigerian government dignitary there, but they're just there to party. They're in the VIP booth having a good time. There's nothing to sell to people who have money to buy. And so, while we treat these concerts as a party, the Koreans treat their own concerts as a product launch. We are happy with the applause. They are only happy with the conversion rates. And that's why Seoul is flooded with tourists from the West looking to experience the city that produced people like BTS, Monster X, or even Blackpink. And while Lagos, well, we only see Nigerians come home in December with their friends and nothing more. We still are not able to tap into the power of Afrobeats to drive tourism here in Nigeria. And that is a fundamental problem for us. So am I saying we shouldn't be excited for the Grammy? Hell no. I'm excited for Burna Boy. I'm excited for Ira Star, Wizkid, Ashake, everyone who's made it from Lagos to the global stage, from Port Harcourt to the global stage, from Benin City to the global stage. I have walked the streets of this city. I understand the struggles that you've had to overcome to get to where you are. So perhaps this is not just about the stars. They've made it rightly on their own power and their own merits. This is about the money being left on the table by the government, the people who have the capacity to effect change at a larger scale than Wizkid or his record label can ever think of. Because you see, a Grammy doesn't fix the power grid that makes it impossible to hold a massive concert in Lagos. A Grammy doesn't fix the visa laws that stop us from touring Africa. The Grammy is the roof, but we haven't built the foundation yet. If we don't use this window of attention to build the infrastructure, the venue, the payment rails, the travel infrastructure, remove the visa barriers so that a fan of Tyler in Nigeria can attend her concert in South Africa without having to worry about visa restrictions. If we don't use this opportunity to integrate and build the sort of infrastructure that allows us to tap into the progress, the wins of Afrobeat on the global stage, we might wake up one morning and see that the people who are currently validating us have moved on from us and have taken their validation along with them. And I hope it doesn't happen to us someday. Look, we are not doing anything that hasn't been done before. There exists a playbook that shows you just how a country can leverage on its cultural capital to drive its economic growth. We just have to take that playbook and see how to make it work for us. Until then, we are only going to continue to clap for people who are more interested in what they can gain from us and not how we can move with them as partners. Hi, my name is Chika, and on this channel, I talk about issues that concern African politics, governance, tech, music, entertainment, whatever it is that concerns Africans right here in Africa, I will talk about it on this channel. So if this is the sort of thing that you're interested in, please don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that gradually we can build a community of people who are placing massive bets on Africa. I'll see you in the next